Now, what did Gandhiji actually gain from the first three Satyagrahas? That is a bigger question. So here Gandhiji, he demonstrated the efficacy of Satyagraha to the people. People who were yet unaware about Satyagraha, they came to know that even Satyagraha is a concept and Satyagraha is a successful phenomenon. That with Satyagraha you can achieve things. So that was what he showed to the people. Moreover, he acquired respect and commitment of many, especially the youth. That was one another thing. He understood the strength and weakness of the masses. That are the masses capable of doing doing the aspect of Satyagraha? So Satyagraha, it was also known as passive resistance, passive resistance, and also known as civil disobedience. Civil disobedience. And in the Satyagrahas, there were to be various forms of activism, and those activism, it is going to be associated with strike, protest, and withholding and resistance. All right, so all of those things are going to be there. Then he also found his feet among the masses. That means people now started respecting Gandhiji and now they stayed with him. Now, apart from this, there were three topics that were clear, and dear to the Gandhi's heart, and they were, the first one is Hindu-Muslim unity. So Gandhiji always wanted a Hindu-Muslim unity. Gandhiji always wanted to fight against untouchability, and in the further sessions we shall also be looking at what is going to be Gandhiji's fight against untouchability. He also raised the social status of women in the country. Means Gandhiji wanted women empowerment to happen. Alright, that is one thing. So here Gandhiji, in spite of being a devout Hindu, Gandhiji, okay, he was universalistic and not narrow in mindset. So the orthodoxy that told that there needs to be untouchability, he is going to say that no religion is going to be talking about untouchability, and if the religion is talking, then you need to change it. So that is what he is going to be telling. So for the untouchables, Gandhi, he is going to coin the word Harijan. Harijan. That means the people of Lord Hari. They were the dear people of Lord Vishnu. Hari means Vishnu. So they were Hari ke Jan. That means the people of Lord Vishnu. Now, just after that, there is going to be a situation that is going to arise at that point of time. So in this, when I'm talking that just after this, when an important situation had arisen at that point of time, just after all these particular events, and that situation, it is going to be the Rowlatt Act. So what had happened is, just try to correlate this particular thing with me. Okay, so what type of situation had arisen at that point of time? Here by the time period of 1918, by the time period of 1918, what do we understand is that, I'll just write it up here. By the time period of 1918, there were some things that had happened. One, it was in India. In India, what was the scenario is that, in India, what was the scenario is, Gandhi, he had done the three Satyagrahas. Gandhi had done the three Satyagrahas and he was highly successful in them. And the people also got to know about Gandhi at that point of time. That was one thing. Apart from that, at the world level, there was also the end of World War I. And when the World War I ended, what is going to happen is that there is going to be the Britain, it is going to be fighting with the opposite powers, and in the opposite side, there is going to be Turkey. Okay, in the opposite side, there is also going to be Turkey. So Turkey and its partners, Turkey, Germany, they are going to be losing. Turkey, Germany and all, they are going to be losing, and Britain here, they are going to be winning. So what happens is that here, by the time period of 1918, this was there. And also, now what is going to be the scenario? Just look at this, that because of the Gandhi, okay, and the three Satyagrahas that is going to happen, Here, Gandhi, he had created a situation in India wherein the people who up till now they were not having the faith on the nationalistic activities. Here up till now, when the World War I was being fought from 1914 to 18, when many people had adopted the path of revolutionary. Why? Because the political activity had stopped, and there was no major demands that were being felt from political activities. Many people had joined the revolution. I'm not telling huge numbers, but there was an increasing rise of the people joining the revolutionary trend. Moreover, up till now, what do we see is that by the time period of 1918, the home rule movement was also there. So the home rule movement, although it declined by the time period of 1918, but the home rule movement, it was highly successful in uniting the people, in creating consciousness among the people about self government. So here also what do we see is that when there was unity because of home rule movement. When there was unity because of Gandhiji's first three satyagrahas, people started to believe in the political movement once again. Moreover, the INC, it was also united now. Moreover, in the 1916, there is going to be the Lucknow Pact that is going to unite even the Muslim League with the INC. So here, this was the situation in India. Because of this, what happened is that there was a rising trend of nationalism. People were being united against the British. People started to have faith in the political movement. People started to have faith that we can do something against the Britishers. People started to have faith that they can get their demands fulfilled from the Britishers. So here, from these activities, what do we understand? That there was a rising trend of nationalism, there was rising unity within the masses, there was rising unity within the political parties of India. Simultaneously, when the World War had ended, what was the situation is that in India, because of the end of the World War One, okay, this particular World War One, it is going to have negative impacts. Obviously, the World War One did not have positive impacts on the India. The World War One, it is going to have the negative impacts on the Indians. Okay, the negative impacts. How come negative impacts? Because of the World War, there was inflation, there was poverty, there was destruction, there was famine that was created. All of these things, they are going to again fill the hearts of Indians against the Britishers. And when that hatred is being filled simultaneously because of the political activities, what happened is there was increasing unity, and simultaneously because of all these activities there was increasing nationalistic activity, and along with nationalistic activity there was a rise of nationalism, which was a direct threat to the British, So in order to reduce the nationalism in India, what happened is that there was one particular person in Britain, and that person, he was known as Judge Sidney Rowlatt. Okay, that person was known as Judge Sidney Rowlatt. Now what happens is that this particular person, he is going to recommend a particular provision to the British government, and the British Parliament is going to pass that recommendation, and that act is going to be known as the Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act, it also meant the anarchical. It was originally known as the Anarchical and Crimes Act. Anarchical and Crimes Act. So Rowlatt Act, it was passed by the British Parliament and it was to be implemented in India. And the Indian reaction to it was very much fierce, wherein we Indians are going to call it what? The Black Act. But the question is that why did we call it a Black Act? What was so bad about this particular act that it was called a Black Act? So it was called a Black Act. Why? Because it had the provision of detaining anybody for more than a period of 12 months. That diluted the principle of habeas corpus. You might have heard the word habeas corpus in the polity under Article 32 of the Indian Constitution. It is one constitutional remedy that is prevalent with the citizens of the country. So here what happens is that habeas corpus, it basically means to show me the body of, it is a Latin word which talks about individual liberty. So I'll just explain this scenario here, just understand. So what happens is that when we talk about, whenever there is an arrest that is done, whenever a police is going to arrest somebody, that particular arrested person, they are arrested under two contexts. Okay, that arrest can be categorized into two contexts. One is punitive. Okay, punitive means after arrest, after one particular person is going to be arrested, that particular person, he can be detained by the police authorities under two categories. One is the punitive detention, another is going to be the preventive detention. Punitive and preventive detention. Now what do we know on this? So the punitive detention, it is a phenomena wherein whenever a person is arrested, that person within 24 hours has to be presented within the court, in the court of law, and that particular court of law, what would it do is that it is going to then, okay, it is going to then get punished. That means the court of law will then punish the particular entity and then they are sent to the jail. So after the court has punished this particular person or convict, then putting to jail is the punitive detention. But preventive detention is that when a person is arrested on the grounds that might be, if that person's arrival would lead to law and order situation. Like many politicians in today's time, they are arrested, right, when they go to an area and the district authority might think that law and order situation could arise, so they preventively arrest them. In order, they arrest them, detain them, so that preventive measures could be taken that no law and order situation arises. So here also, the preventive detention, it was like the Britishers could just go arrest anybody under the pretext, and they could be arrested and kept in detention for more than 1 year without presenting them in the court of law. So when such a situation happens, it reduces or it degrades the individual liberty. The individual liberty, a right on which even the British Constitution was based on. That means every individual has a liberty. And here detaining that individual is a violation of his or her liberty. Now because of that, what happened is, now that is only habeas corpus, that you cannot be detained. So that is why it means to show me the body of, that means that body, that individual should be presented in the court of law. That is habeas corpus. So here the Britishers under the Anarchical and Crimes Act had passed this particular law which we called as a Black Act. Why? Because any person without being given an explanation could be arrested by the British and could be put in preventive detention for more than 12 months. So when such a law was passed, all right, Rowlatt Act was passed, we could not just accept it and we named it the Black Act. And Gandhi at that point of time is going to call for a nationwide protest. Now when Gandhi calls for a nationwide protest, many people, means Gandhi ji, when he called for a nationwide protest, it is going to be under the context of the particular, what do you say, Satyagraha. But many people at this point of time did not know what the measures of Satyagraha were, because up till now Gandhi ji had done 3 Satyagrahas, but they were local in nature. However, when this nationwide protest is being called upon, it is national in nature. So not many people know about the Satyagraha. So what happens is that they did not know how to protest. They did not have that knowledge. They were not aware. So that is why this protest they are going to fail. Now, when it fails, Gandhiji is going to organize one particular sabha, that is the Satyagraha Sabha, wherein Gandhiji he is going to teach the people how the particular Satyagraha it needs to be done. And under that particular context, what Gandhiji does is that he is going to tell the people, okay, in the Satyagraha Sabha, he is going to teach the people how Satyagraha is done. And under that, what does he tell is that you people need to meet, do public gatherings at a large level, do demonstrations at a large level, carry out marches at a large level. So that is what he was telling. And if the Britishers come to arrest you, do not resist them. Court your arrest. Remember the thing that I explained in the Gandhi in South Africa, that Gandhiji, initially the people they were scared of going to jail, but now the people they were of the idea that we will go to jail and we will court our arrest. So that was one another aspect of struggle that was started by Gandhiji. And Gandhiji here, he is going to recommend the people in order to do that particular thing, that do the major demonstrations, do public gatherings at a massive level, court your arrest. And like that, Gandhiji, he is going to start the Rowlatt Satyagraha with the mass protest. So this was his first mass movement in India, that was known as the Rowlatt Satyagraha. So here, Gandhiji is finally going to start the Rowlatt Satyagraha.